Good morning. Yeah, we're entering the final countdown for what promises to be one of the most expensive, most exclusive, highly secretive weddings of the entire year. And most details have been kept under wraps about the big day. Until now, we're getting a first look.
After 3 days of lavish fun in the floating city, the newlyweds departing the Grand Canal Sunday morning one final time. The bride in white yet again, though far more modest than the show-stopping wedding gown she unveiled Friday night.
Their wedding was less. If luxury were a flavor, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez served it ice cold with a side of "you tried." Their wedding was less billionaire chic and more Pinterest board gone rogue. From the second it hit the internet, the wedding became a meme goldmine. Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit united like the Avengers, except instead of fighting evil, they were roasting that gray carpet like it owed them money. For a couple with a net worth that could wipe out world hunger, they somehow managed to choose decor that looked like it came from a bankrupt HR office.
Gorgeous Italian backdrop for an American extravaganza, with water taxis instead of limos, and a guest list that included 200 of the couple's closest A-list friends. The Kardashians, Tom Brady, Usher, Oprah, and Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner.
Lauren's dress? Think leftover Halloween costume meets D-list soap opera bride.
Hours after exchanging vows, posting her new Instagram handle,
It was like watching a Real Housewives reunion held in an Amazon Returns warehouse. And let's not forget the ring, a geological hazard masquerading as jewelry. If Jeff wanted to prove that money can't buy class, mission accomplished. It was a spectacle, all right, but more reality TV cringe than royal affair. Jeff and Lauren didn't just fall in love, they fell into the tabloids with the grace of a flaming blimp. What started as an innocent work relationship spiraled into one of the juiciest billionaire scandals since Elon Musk tweeted, "Funding secured." Remember 2019? When we were all minding our business and suddenly got hit with leaked texts, shirtless selfies, and tabloid headlines that read like bad fan fiction. Jeff was married, Lauren was married. Then boom, Bezos became TMZ's favorite billionaire.
We do move now to what could be the wedding of the year. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez tying the knot in Venice, but not everyone is welcoming the happy couple.
Add in Lauren's brother allegedly selling the text, Jeff accusing tabloids of blackmail, and a blog post titled, like a Bond villain's manifesto. You couldn't write this mess if you tried. But despite the chaos, they stuck together, proving once and for all, true love is blind, scandal-proof, and apparently worth every leaked emoji. The real surprise? They didn't just survive the scandal. They turned it into a honeymoon. Nothing screams romantic getaway like Venice unless it's Venice being taken hostage by a billionaire wedding so loud it made the gondolas shudder. Jeff and Lauren turned a UNESCO World Heritage Site into their personal e-news segment. Locals? Furious. Tourists? Confused. Activists? Mobilized. This wasn't a wedding. It was a city takeover.
For tourists, it was all part of the spectacle, right down to the Bezos impersonator in St. Mark's Square. After exchanging vows yesterday on the island of San Giorgio, the Bezos Sanchezes are throwing a final party today. And tomorrow, everyone heads home, leaving barely a ripple in a city which has seen the famous and their fortunes come and go for more than 1,000 years. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
Somewhere between the A-list guest arrivals and the $25 million extravaganza, Venice became the world's most glamorous hostage. Think Bond movie villain with a Pinterest addiction? One protester summed it up best. If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax. Make drop. It was an Italian soap opera in real life, with less subtlety and more helicopters. The real drama wasn't the vows, it was the Venetians asking, "Is this a wedding or a hostile takeover?" Forget lovebirds, this was Godzilla meets Gucci, and Venice was caught in the crossfire. Billionaire wedding or covert villain summit? It's honestly hard to tell. As Jeff and Lauren clinked champagne glasses on a floating palace, protesters below were lighting up Venice like it was Coachella for the mad-as-hell crowd. Anti-Bezos signs weren't just slapped on walls, they were draped across monuments like sassy political statements in all caps. One banner even read, "The 1% ruins the world," which, let's be real, would make a great punk album title. Protesters climbed poles. They disrupted parties. One even dropped a banner during the pre-wedding bash, turning Jeff's love story into a live-action episode of Succession. Bezos tried to smooth things over with free ice cream and donations, but this wasn't a kid's soccer game. The streets weren't buying it. He might be able to send Katy Perry to space, but even that won't stop eco-activists from dragging him back to Earth, one banner at a time. Not everyone in Venice wants to play NPCs in Jeff Bezos' fairy tale. As the city became the stage for this mega-rich flex, real people were living through another episode of Rent is Too Damn High. Locals didn't just roll their eyes, they raged. For them, this wasn't a wedding. It was a symbol of everything that's been going wrong. Housing prices skyrocketing, neighborhoods turning into tourist traps, and now, their city gets turned into a Netflix original called Billionaire Wedding. The audacity. Jeff and Lauren's celebration came across less, we're in love, and more, we're untouchable. People already felt Venice was losing its soul to influencers and cruise ships. Now they had to watch celebrities toast champagne in a $50 million palace while families get priced out of their homes. Salt in the wound. This wasn't just tone deaf. It was surround sound deaf. Imagine being worth hundreds of billions and choosing a wedding carpet that looks like it was yanked out of an IT department in 2004. That's what Jeff Bezos did. The moment photos dropped, the internet lost its collective mind. Memes flew faster than Blue Origin rockets. One person joked it looked like an Amazon break room got promoted. Another said it resembled a millennial gay office hellscape. We don't know who approved the gray carpet, but they clearly lost a bet. It wasn't even just bad, it was iconic in the worst way. People were begging for answers. Was this intentional? A hidden metaphor? A cruel joke on interior designers? Who carpets over Venice? Forget the vows, the carpet was the real star of the ceremony, mostly because it screamed, midlife crisis meets mid-century cubicle. If taste were a crime, Jeff's carpet would be doing life without parole. Some speculated it was a logistical choice, maybe to protect the historic flooring beneath. But others weren't buying it. A $500 million yacht, and you couldn't spring for something better than airport terminal chic? The entire event felt like a tech billionaire's attempt at luxury, curated by someone who thought Vibe was a software update. The carpet didn't just clash at Concord, in the worst way. Lauren Sanchez walked down the aisle in a custom Dolce & Gabbana lace corset gown that had more people gasping than the ring reveal. But not for the reasons you'd hope. The dress looked like it moonlighted as a haunted doll's prom outfit. Featured in Vogue, yes, that Vogue, the gown quickly became the subject of the internet's next fashion roast. People joked it was so tasteless it might have been the final straw that made Anna Wintour resign. Even the ghost of Fashion Pass was like, girl, no. Twitter turned into a runway of roasts, with users comparing the dress to everything from dollar store bridal wear to medieval lingerie. It was a couture catastrophe that screamed, I have money, but no mirror. The irony? The bride wore white, but the internet painted it red with ridicule. The dress, with its sheer bodice, aggressively cinched waist, and awkward lace panels, seemed more fit for a burlesque revival than a billionaire wedding. It was a desperate attempt at vintage sensuality that instead read like a parody of opulence. Fashion critics remained tight-lipped, likely out of secondhand embarrassment, while everyday people had a field day. TikToks mocked the aesthetic, memes flooded Instagram, and Reddit threads analyzed it like a crime scene. The verdict? Guilty of fashion fraud. Lauren Sanchez didn't just flash a diamond. She unveiled a geological crisis. That rock wasn't a gem. It was a GPS landmark. NASA probably had to reroute satellites. You know, a diamond's out of control when it needs a helmet and its own Netflix documentary. Forget romance. This ring said, I could fund 3 seasons of Succession with this stone and still have change left over for a yacht. And if the goal was to go viral, mission freaking accomplished. Subtlety died the moment that diamond hit the air. Forget does it sparkle? This thing emits light pollution. Great for Blue Origin. Terrible for people who don't want to go blind at brunch. So yeah, congratulations. The ring is a masterpiece, a monument, and probably a choking hazard if you breathe near it too hard. You know your wedding's off the rails when the guest list looks like the algorithm is trying to manifest a viral tweet. Let's get real. Jeff Bezos didn't throw a wedding. He launched a luxury event Oprah? There. Kim Kardashian? Check. DiCaprio? Of course. Sydney Sweeney? Yeah, nothing says lifelong bond like inviting someone you met at a brunch once and follow on Instagram. This wasn't a celebration of love. It was Coachella for billionaires. If love is blind, then this wedding had 20/20th vision and a branded lens flare. The ceremony wasn't giving intimacy. It was giving brand activation. You half expected someone to shout cut between the vows. And the internet noticed. People weren't gushing over romance. They were side-eyeing the guest list like, where are the cousins with bad haircuts? Where's the flower girl who eats the petals? where's the drunk uncle doing the worm during cocktail hour? There was something unsettling about watching two of the world's richest people stage what looked more like a corporate merger than a celebration of love.